Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Overnight Action Report, where we take a look at all of the action in Asia. My name is Joseph Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Before we get started, what I want to do is just show you what I mean by the fact that if you look at these components like Asia, Europe, Australia, the United States, and you want to have a diversified portfolio. And some people ask me, well, Joe, I don't get what you mean. Why should I even care what's going on in Japan or China? Other than from a macro perspective, as far as my investments are concerned, why should I even care? Why should I even understand that? Well, this is why. I have some just model portfolios. Here's what I call an example of a capital preservation portfolio, someone that would be extremely risk averse. And the one thing that you'll notice is that they have a variety of different bond ETFs and portfolios. And again, this is an example. And as a matter of fact, I'll show you where you can actually get this information from me. But this EFA ETF, this is an iShares All World Index. This covers Europe, Far East, and Australia. So you have all of these countries represented in stocks from these countries and from the indices that I talk about in the mornings. And this very conservative portfolio has 5% exposure to international names, specifically through the EFA. Now, you might say, well, okay, how do I know I'm a risk number 28? The easiest way to get your risk number is go over to MarketStream.live. That's MarketStream.live. Go over to Premium Toolbox, and you'll see a risk assessment. Now, there's a free pass that you can utilize for a couple days to get a free risk assessment. You click that, and basically what's going to happen is that you're going to scroll down, and you're going to get a free risk analysis report. All you have to do is a quick questionnaire. It takes no more than 3 to 5 minutes. And what I will do is send you a model portfolio as well as a report as far as giving you some financial planning components as well. And this report will basically give you a 6-month, a 95% probability range of profit and potential loss. And so basically, you're going to have a really neat portfolio that now you can start wrapping your head around, and you can start making sense of all of this stuff that we talk about every day here at MarketStream.live. Now let's jump in and take a look at the markets. Overnight action, we saw the Nikkei. It finished up very strong overnight, up almost 1.5%, 1.48% at 19,604. You can clearly see that it stayed well above its 20 and 50-day moving averages. Some of the biggest catalysts for the Nikkei overnight, the yen. Yen is continuing to trade weak. As a matter of fact, if you look at the pair of the US dollar and the yen, it's trading right around 115.36. The dollar's strength has really started to weigh on the yen, and so we're going to watch that very closely. Again, dollar moving to the upside, yen to the downside. That was a catalyst, and you can see that that pair continues to move to the upside. That is a bullish sign for dollar bulls, a bearish sign for yen bulls. Also, what was notable when we take a look at Japan is the fact that over the course of the week, the index was able to finish off of its best levels. We saw it up for the week, up of 0.7%. We're also hearing news that Toshiba, the Japanese government, is really trying to find some entity to acquire their chip unit. Toshiba is under some pressure with some write-offs and write-downs that they're going to have to do on some exposure to some U.S. nuclear power plants, and their investment there has not gone so well. Taking a look at China in the Shanghai Composite, finished down about 0.1%, down 398 at 32.12 and 76 cents. Really what you're seeing here is the fact of the matter, tight range in China. We had some interesting data that came out, but the tight range also in the overnight session, we did not see the People's Bank of China, PBOC, infuse any type of liquidity operations. They didn't trigger those into the markets yesterday. So that overnight, that did keep the tight range, as well as the fact that I think the whole world is waiting for this jobs report that should be out in the next 45 minutes, or actually in the next 15 minutes. We'll keep an eye on that, and you could see a reaction while I am talking. Again, tight range. We're going to watch this one very closely. Still above its 20 and 50-day moving average, but there's not a lot of wiggle room here. Again, I think we'll have to wait until we get all the economic data out here this Friday here in the U.S. Once that occurs, I think then we'll start to see some momentum. One other thing that I want to point out is that we did see that exports were down pretty significantly in China. That caught a lot of traders off guard. We want to keep an eye on that. Taking a look at finally Hong Kong. Hong Kong, you can see in the overnight session up about 0.3%, 0.29%, and that's at 23,568. You can clearly see that there's a little bit of a pullback here. One silver lining here is that property names picked up overnight in Hong Kong. Really saw a pickup there, despite the fact that we did see some weakness in the yuan. Is trading a little bit weaker against the U.S. dollar. You can see that the U.S. dollar yuan pair still in the green ever so slightly. The trade's been relatively flat, but the yuan is trading weaker. That weakness is starting to weigh on the markets a little bit, and we saw that action all week, both in the Shanghai Composite with the consolidation as well as the Hang Seng. We continue to see that as well. And finally, what I want to point out is that over the course of the week, we have been discussing how you can start utilizing these different types of underlyings, whether it's EWJ for Japan, FXI for China as proxies, as well as EWH for Hong Kong. These are all wonderful proxies that as you start to build out your portfolio and utilize these types of products, as an example, EFA, if you just wanted to trade Europe, Far East, and Australia, this is a product that you can start adding that international exposure. Take advantage of going into MarketStream.live this weekend, going in, and you can sign up for a free pass, and you can check out all of the different pieces and tools that I utilize in my discussions. Check it out this weekend. All right, I'll be back at 8:45 Eastern Time. I'll be checking out all of the action that's going on in Europe. We'll see you then.